Hey, Facebook and YouTube, because the replay gets posted over on YouTube. Say hi when you're here. Let me know if you're watching it on replay. Give these cards a very good shuffle, because we're into August vibes now. Happy August, everyone. Oh, good. I see you guys coming in. Oh, these cards are just jumping. Hi, Luann. Hey, Heather, Sharon, Charlotte, Melissa. Hello, hello. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful Monday, long weekend here. Yay, August. And you know what? These August vibes, they're feeling a little October-y. And everybody who knows me knows I live for the fall and I love for the fall, but it's actually wild. It's actually wild. Hi. Oh my God. Okay. I'm so happy that everybody is here. We're in a new month. We're in an exciting month. It feels like, it just feels so good. I know today's card, which I was like, yes, when Spirit brought it through, being like, listen, it's happening. It's happening. I know that you feel it. I feel it. We all feel it. We feel it coming. We feel it shifting. The internal shift has already happened. There is no rush. You're not going to miss it, right? But sometimes when we're feeling it, when we can feel it, it does make us want to rush because we get excited. We want to just run forward. Oh, thanks, Sharon. So patience definitely within August, but I would say, this is my prediction, between now and starting of September, is this sense of confusion and this sense of lack of clarity, lack of direction, that is going to be revealed within this month. So really happy. I think everybody across the board is going to be very happy with that, right? Because this sense of I can feel it. I don't know where I'm going, and I think too, it's a really wonderful time for reflection of going, last time I felt this almost could be interpreted as antsiness. We may have rushed and made some mistakes. Now we understand that, okay, we're going to be patient as it comes to us, as it's revealed to us, without putting added pressure on. And I really love that. And 2024 things were slow, but there was very scarcity mindset ran. 2025, it's still slow. We've been saying since January, nothing in this year is coming in as quickly as you want it to, right? It's teaching us patience. It's teaching us truly, I'm so glad, Tina, truly to surrender and to release, right? And so now there's more of this acceptance. There's this okay, I can feel it. That's my soul communicating, keep going, you're on the right path, etc. Or this is just where you need to be right now, and I'm not going to fight that, right? I'm going to just allow myself to be right here where I am right now. And so it is slower pace, but it's more peace producing in the sense that it's not so fear and scarcity driven, which I think is really nice, right? It feels very good. And like I said, knowing that August is going to bring in insight, it's going to bring in direction, it's going to bring in clarity. We could fall into past belief systems or habits of, well, just let me make it happen instead of allowing it to come, right? And so this is going to be something that I think some of us are going to have a little trickiness with, but lean into that acceptance, lean into that, listen, it's coming to me. I know it is. We know it is, right? It's been telling us for some time. Really happy to see some of this direction coming in. Don't forget, on August 12th, I am doing a Messages from Spirit online experience. That is a gallery-styled reading through Zoom. If you want to participate and join us that evening, you can witness the most amazing messages from Spirit. You can head over to my website, angelamcclellan.com, under the store tab. Zoom links will be sent out the day before or morning of, and it is limited. And a replay will be provided. So we love doing those. Really happy to get them back on the calendar. Really excited as well for the fall calendar. So again, you guys know I've been getting a big influx of people inquiring about how you go about booking me. Booking is done on a month-to-month basis, which means I book a month out in advance. So the first of every month at 10 a.m. Atlantic daytime, because we're in Halifax time, my calendar opens. So whatever availability, wherever I can put clients in within that month, I open it on a self-booking app. Okay, that's linked here, that's linked on my website, that if you inbox this page, you get an automated response with the booking information, the reminder of the date and time in the link to book there. So everything that you need to know is over there. That is for mediumship only, okay? I only do mediumship only readings in a sit down or virtual. For the past 2 months, I have been on the same day opening some card readings, playing with the idea of having them as a monthly offer as well. And that's where you're looking for your fortune read, your psychic or intuitive. That's what's about to come in, what we need to work on, things that the guides want you to know. That's what that type of reading is for, okay? But everything is booked through there. So on the first of every month, I book out that month. So on August 1st, we booked out my August availability. On September 1st, my September availability. September comes back in with like evening appointments and stuff. So for the July and August, I have only been booking mornings. So if you're like, Ange, don't worry. Geez, it's just for the summer. So I can spend time with my babies. All right, let's get into this week. Weekly guidance from the 4th. August 4th through to the 10th, okay? So, now what's interesting is there seems to be a little bit of there seems to be maybe an opportunity for reflection. I wanted to say a little bit of a challenge, but really it is this feeling of like standing in your power, putting in boundaries, or more like setting boundaries for yourself, okay? So that you can proceed. And this is something that we are learning, I feel like, as a whole over the last couple of years, especially. There's been a lot of talk and a lot of messaging around boundaries. And there's a lot of misunderstanding around boundaries, right? And a lot of the times, the boundary is for if we're new in our boundary game, right? We may be trying to change others' behaviors with our boundaries. That is always going to fail. That is always going to fail because you cannot control anybody. You cannot change anybody. You cannot convince anybody but yourself, right? Unless they're ready to do the work, ready to have some difficult conversations, ready to heal, right? The boundaries are for ourselves. This is what I'm going to allow. This is what I'm not going to allow. When this happens, this is where I'm going to exit, this type of thing. And so a lot of the boundary making, when we talk about boundaries, we are going to be focusing on guidelines for self. And what I love about this is it feels very familiar. It feels very nostalgic in the sense that as children, right? As us little, or if you have children or grandchildren, you know that they need structure. They need guidelines, right? And then we go to be an adult and we're all willy-nilly. There's not a guideline to be sane, right? And so taking this time and forming this habit of sitting with yourself and saying, okay, you know what? Like, how do I feel about this? If I'm going to this family event, or if I'm going into this work experience with a challenging personality, what's some structure and some guidelines for myself, right? If I feel this way, this is what I'm going to do. If there's disrespectful communication, this is what I'm going to do, right? And so you can make these boundaries and make these guidelines for yourself to navigate these experiences. And sometimes that's going to be like, you know what? There's going to be no communication, or this is going to be a non-starter. Sometimes it's going to be like, okay, well, I'm going to set this amount of time, and taking time intentionally to decide how we're going to handle certain situations or people, or how we're going to show up in certain situations with certain people, really is such a game changer, okay? And so I do see you kind of sitting with yourself and being like, okay, so there is almost this renewal, this reset, this refocus on who am I? How do I want to show up? How am I going to navigate this? And so you're creating this new structure for self, okay? I think that this is going to allow room for healing, for growth, right? And it brings down the anxiety because now we have a map. Now we have a game plan, right? And we know what we're going to do. A lot of this time and a lot of this anxiety that we feel as humans is because we're going in unprepared and feeling like we're in an unpredictable situation or unsafe experience, in a sense that we don't know how it's going to go, not an actual unsafe experience. If you're walking into an actual physically, mentally, emotionally unsafe experience, you don't go, right? Like, that's not what we're talking about. I'm talking about this everyday difficulties, or how we're going to navigate, and putting some intention. We've been hearing a lot over the last 8 months of we're being intentional, we're living intentionally, right? And that shows up in so many ways, right? So many people have refocused their spending, and they're more intentional on how they're giving and spending their energy, their emotions, their money. We're being more intentional with where we go and what we do, right? And so taking time to reflect on, how do I want to show up in this? How do I want to put myself here, right? And being intentional about it makes sense, okay? There is also coming in within this month, there is also this hyper-focused on family healing. So some of you, this is going to be inner work. This could be healing, therapy, different therapy modalities. This can be this feeling of working through having conversations, having difficult conversations, reconnections, reconciliations. And this could be just emotions and experiences bubbling up within you. And so there is this feeling of you're safe, you're grounded, and you can sort through these as they come up. Okay. And again, think of the previous message where they're saying, let's create a guideline. Let's create a game plan for these experiences, right? And I think that's going to be something that is really going to be helpful, especially where we're going now into a quicker paced season. As we get closer to the fall is going to be the most busy of the year of 2025. And so having this groundwork done, right? Having these guidelines made is going to be very helpful with maintaining your integrity, with maintaining your goals, with maintaining your intentions as we go into the fall and the winter seasons, okay? There is information that's coming in that, not my word, that I just heard Josie. Some juicy information that's coming in that does require actions. It says plan carefully, but then take action, okay? And so it may be a little bit, I definitely can feel the reaction to this information, but it feels more like excitement versus hearing negative information. And it kind of comes in with this feeling of doubt in the sense of like, can I do it? Can I make this happen? Can I, am I ready? Yes, you are. Again, this is not something that we're rushing. We're letting ourselves feel ourselves forward, but it says plan carefully before taking action, but then get going. So don't let any of this jitters hold you back or psych you out thinking that you're not ready and that you can't do that, okay? Thanks, Trisha. There is a blessing that's coming within this week as well. The good that you do comes back to you. There is this blessing that's coming in. Now, what's interesting is, guys, you have to understand that blessings as they come forward are not only limited to, what's the word that I'm looking for? Are not always just handed to you. Blessings can come in, gifts from the universe can come in as epiphanies, as kindness, as new opportunities, as insight, as joy-filled experiences that you created. Right? Like you have to understand that when the universe is giving you blessings and giving you gifts, it doesn't just mean you do nothing and you receive, right? It's not always an actionless experience, almost always. But it's a blessing because you get to have this experience. It's a blessing because you get to have this opportunity. It's a blessing that you were in the right place at the right time, right? It's a blessing that you had the confidence to put yourself outside of your comfort zone to then receive, right? And so it's so important. I feel like so often I have conversations where it is clearly a blessing. It is clearly abundance. It's clearly a positive, but it's not big enough. It's not big enough, so I'm dismissing it, right? No, guys, right? We have to stop that. It's so important that we understand that, the most extraordinary moments of our lives are these ordinarily daily experiences. Right? And I think the older that I get, I value these quiet blessings so much more than the big and the flashy. Because I'll tell you a secret. Most times when you get the big and the flashy, imposter syndrome is there ruining it on you. You don't even recognize it. You're not even feeling worthy of it. Right? And so here we are missing these beautiful blessings that the universe has, gifts that the universe has given us, going, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. I want bigger. And I don't want to have to do anything. I want to find my dream man from my couch. But I don't want to do online dating. And I just want him coming knocking on my door and showing up. Or I want to get to my healthy weight goal, but I don't want to change anything or do any effort. Like, no. Like, it is a blessing and there is action required. Okay, so we have to do the things, and the universe is like, babe's doing the things. Let's give her some more things to get excited about. Let's bring these opportunities. Let's allow these blessings crossing her path, right? And I think that our idea or our mindset or our belief systems around what a miracle is and what a blessing is construes and makes us miss it. We're missing it. There's so much magic in your day-to-day life, but we have an impossible mindset that consistently discredits it. And so after this video, get your head out of your phone and be present, and you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed, okay? There is some challenges coming in within relationships, and this can be, again, circled back to the previous message, where in this month there is a lot of family healing that's coming up within us. There's definitely a challenging experience where the ego is really kicked up and we're feeling a little bit hopeless, to be honest. The High Priestess card comes out, which is all about, listen, we have to get quiet. We have to take all the lessons that we have learned over the last couple of years and apply them when the going gets tough, right? When these challenges come in, when the miscommunications come in, when you are, knocking heads with a very strong personality or a very strong ego, right? There's almost this need for you to turn inwards and go, what do I need? How do I feel? How should I proceed? Where previously there's been so much of this attention external, really wanting that immediate response to go internal, right? Listen to our soul, listen to our intuition. This is an opportunity not only for you to use what you have been learning in healing and in realizing, but I think that because however you navigate this, I see you kind of walking away from this proud. So it's providing an opportunity for you to gain that trust and that confidence in self. And really that has been such a main focus over the last 8 to 10 years of learning to love ourselves, learning to accept ourselves, learning to trust ourselves. Everybody wants to be intuitive. Everybody wants to live an intuitive life. You cannot be intuitive and hate yourself. You cannot listen and hear your intuition and criticize your body and your how you look and how you act and how you sound, and that you cannot. You have to learn to accept yourself and love yourself. And all of a sudden, it's like your intuition is on a megaphone, right? And so it goes hand in hand. Your intuition and learning to listen to your intuition goes hand in hand with your healing. It goes hand in hand with learning to love yourself and accept yourselves. We haven't been taught that. We haven't been taught that, right? And so how many times have we've grown up or absorbed that, oh, she just loves herself, right? As if it's a bad thing, right? Can you imagine the greatness that we could create in an experience if we stopped belittling ourselves and holding ourselves back and talking nasty to ourselves, right? We are missing it. We're missing it. You're missing your life. You're missing the magic. And you know what? Nobody externally views you this way. Nobody is going to be meaner to you than you, right? But like that's what we say. So there is this feeling of, as we give ourselves those moments, bringing some intention in and going, how do I want to show up in here? Do I need a minute? Do I need a little pep talk? Do I need to remind myself that I too deserve good things in this life, as everyone does? Right? And so these opportunities, and I think that as you navigate this, it's going to give you an opportunity to utilize what you have been learning and absorbing. Because sometimes we don't even feel like we're getting any progress until we have a little test, we have a little reflection. And that's really what this type of heated / uncomfortable interaction. Because some of you, it's going to be with family. Some of you, it's going to be with like service providers, doctors, teachers, waiters. Like it's kind of coming in whatever way it needs to for you to kind of, and as you leave, you're going to be like, I handled that really well. And I'm so proud of you. Do not put pressure on yourself for the August. There is a reset that's coming towards the end of this month where, end of this week. It feels like you're starting August with all this pressure. And sometimes we do this, right? August 1st, we're like, oh, the summer's going by too fast. I didn't do X, Y, and Z that I wanted, right? There is this kind of, don't do that. You're just gonna waste that August away. So there is a little bit of a reset that's coming. And it's again coming from more of a abundance mindset versus a scarcity mindset. Remember, when we talk about scarcity mindset, soon as we say abundance, soon as we say scarcity, we think money, right? That is not what these sentences are or these messages are limited to. An abundant mindset is, I am enough, I have enough, I can get enough, I cup half full. There's this type of happy to be here type of energy. When we are in a scarcity mindset, it's there's not enough time. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough happiness. I don't have enough love, right? My house isn't good enough, big enough, shiny enough. My car's not good enough, big enough, shiny enough. Scarcity, scarcity, scarcity. That then connects with I'm not enough. There's something wrong with me, right? And so when we think of scarcity, we think of lack. And as soon as August 1st hit, Spirit said, we're like, there's not enough time. I have to pound all the rest of the summer in, or there's X, Y, and Z that I want to get done, or oh my God, this year is almost over. We're over halfway through, and scarcity, 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 right? And so we do want to reset, bring in a little bit of this abundant balance back in, which reminds you that you are enough. And it's happening all at the speed and the time that it's meant to, and that you are not to underestimate your ability to show up for yourself. And let's just participate in our lives instead of wanting. And sometimes our goal setting is scarcity, because if we're constantly, I want this, I'm working towards this, I need to have this, you're not appreciating what you have now, right? And so there is a balance that comes to this where we need to have a little bit of a reset. And I'm happy to see that this is kind of getting nipped in the bud in the beginning, first week here, first 10 days of August, so that we can go back into this content, abundant, peace-filled energy before we move into September. Like I said, I feel like the second, maybe third week of September to like December 31st, September to December is going to be, it's going to be the fastest quarter of the year, right? And so appreciate it, soak it up. This blessing, this kind of pause, this slow roll is a blessing. It is a blessing. So let's just allow it in before we get into the next. All right, I'm going to leave you with that. It looks like it's going to be a great week. I love that there's internal work done and we're kind of holding ourselves accountable. Do not forget, on August 12th, I'm doing an online experience, Messages from Spirit, via Zoom, so it doesn't matter where you're at. You can head over to my website under the store tab to get your spot. All right, I'll see you next week.